It's not every day that you encounter a refreshing and thrilling game like Sifu. I stumbled upon Sifu in a trailer released back in February 2021 and immediately was captivated by the game's appearance and concept. However, for some reason I never took the plunge to purchase the game when it was released in May of that same year. Fast forward to March of this year when it became free game of the month on PlayStation Plus, I was thrilled at the opportunity to finally dive into this game and discover what it was all about. But what is Sifu? Sifu is a martial arts action game developed by Slow Cap Games that combines fast-paced, skill-based combat with a captivating story of vengeance. Players control a young martial artist on a quest to avenge their family's murder. What sets Sifu apart is its innovative aging mechanic. Every time the character dies, they age and become physically stronger, but with consequences of their overall lifespan. This creates a dynamic gameplay experience where strategy and timing are crucial. If you get too old, you will permanently die and have to restart trying to get through at a younger age. With stunning visuals and challenging gameplay, Sifu offers an immersive journey through the world of martial arts and revenge. I have invested nearly 20 hours into this game and become about the 13,000th person to achieve the Platinum Trophy for it on PS5. I highly recommend this game to anyone. The gameplay is unlike any other game I've played. The fighting mechanics feel smooth, the animations are fluid, and each level's environments are distinct from one another, full of life and drawing you in as you fight your way through an immersive world. The game is divided into only 5 sections, or missions, which may not seem like much, but this is due to the game's approach to replayability and looping mechanics. The intention is for players not to rush through the game in a single setting, but instead, players are encouraged to continuously grind through each mission, defeat the boss, and attempt to finish with the youngest age possible. This process involves learning new skills and diligently searching for shortcuts and collectibles for the detective board, aiding you in your journey. You start off in the Squats, a run-down urban landscape with debilitated buildings and cramped alleyways, providing a great introduction to the fighting mechanics of the game through gradual sets of fights. This mission actually provides my favorite moment in the game. When you get to a certain floor, the camera will turn sideways, turning the game into a temporary side-scrolling action fight scene when you take on about 12.5 guys going down an apartment corridor. Sooner or later you'll encounter the Botanist, the first boss in the game. Fighting him is actually a lot of fun. If you're having trouble learning the timing of parrying, this boss is ideal to practice on. His attack pace and timings are easy to grasp and you'll pick it up in no time. It's a solid first boss fight and I'm a huge fan of the 2-phase boss fights. After the Squats you'll arrive at the club. The club stands out as the second mission and is arguably my favorite area in the game to play. Its visuals and vibes are spot on. Structured like an exclusive nightclub, you navigate through immense crowds of people beneath the neon lights and a bass-heavy soundtrack that perfectly complements the action. The entire soundtrack of Sifu is packed with amazing tracks that complement the environments you're in, but the club soundtrack is the absolute banger. Before facing the second boss Sean, players must endure the 3 trials. They weren't very hard but set you up for what's to come. Sean proved to be the second toughest boss fight in the game in my opinion. To be honest, I got so mad that I actually uninstalled the game over this fight, and it took me a couple days to muster the nerve to come back. Perhaps my initial stubborn approach contributed to the difficulty, but every boss teaches a different lesson and tactic to use to win in the fight. Understanding how to approach each boss is the key to success. The museum is a 3 or 4 story art gallery style building with numerous rooms to traverse, utilizing the art and environment to your advantage. The boss in this mission is my favorite to fight. Each boss has 2 phases, and Kuroki's phases are entirely distinct from each other. There's some intriguing backstory about this boss, but I don't want to spoil it. You'll have to play the game for yourself to find out. But a significant tip I learned about this fight was to master the ability to catch flying items using L1. If timed correctly, you can catch the knives the artist throws at you in the second phase. Otherwise, you can bid farewell to a lot of your health and years off your life. The tower was the least memorable area during my time of playing. It's a cool skyscraper with an interesting level design, but honestly I didn't spend much time on this mission. I quickly unlocked the shortcut to the boss and only revisited when I needed to unlock a few items for the detective board trophy or to decrease my age for the next level, which I'll come back to in a second. When I played through the entire mission avoiding the shortcut, it felt very linear and often was dark and difficult to see what was really going on at times. This pushed me to just head straight to the boss, which you can access in the mission's introduction. The CEO was the easiest boss in the game once I learned how to dodge her attacks using avoids and parries. They can be super annoying and extremely punishing if you don't know how to avoid them, but once you get in close, she's super easy to take down due to her being older and having lower health, just like you do when you get to a higher age. It's a cool subtle detail that I appreciated that they included in the game, making it fair. And finally, after all of that, you arrive at the final area of the game, the Sanctuary, a dojo high up in the mountains. This mission is super cool and fun to play, and has a lot of fun little areas to fight groups of guys in. But once you've reached Yang, the final boss, it's all downhill from there. Of course it makes sense that he's the hardest boss because he's the final one, but I have never encountered such a frustrating boss. You're unable to use your focus ability on him, and the whole fight is based around timing and parrying his attacks. You have to be patient and play to the beat of his drum, and when you make it to the second phase, you'll have to study his moveset thoroughly, or he'll fold you so damn quickly. At least a quarter of my playtime alone was spent just trying to wrap my head around how to beat this guy. I had to go back to the tower and museum and replay them a few times to lower my age to come back and try to take Yang down, but it still didn't work. I eventually had to lower my difficulty down to beat him. But once you do that, you can't go back to your original difficulty unless you start a new game. So I spent the rest of the game time on the lower difficulty to complete all the trophies and get the platinum trophies. Outside of the main story, Slowclap has updated the game, providing additional content with what they call Sifu Arenas. The add-on offers additional challenges and environments for players to engage with. These arenas are often designed to test player skills further, either by introducing new enemies, combat scenarios, or by providing more difficult versions of existing challenges. These add-on arenas serve as extra content to extend the gameplay experience beyond the main storyline. You can play them at any time, though they recommend you complete the main story first. They can offer players a chance to further hone their combat abilities and mastery of the game's mechanics in increasingly challenging situations, adding a layer of replayability to the game. My only real critique for this game would be that while I initially praised the developers for their ability to create such a replayable looping experience in the first 5 story missions, I wish they would have released some additional add-on packs featuring lengthier missions instead of just challenge quests. There's a ton of cool new environments presented through Sifu Arenas that could have been utilized and repackaged into longer missions and cool boss fights at the end. I would have loved to have a mission or story run where I can go full John Wick and Matrix hybrid, beating up a ton of Mr. Smiths in the rain through a Cyber Tokyo downtown district. Or even a couple more missions in the style of the Sanctuary, with the old style dojos up in the mountain, fighting monks or something like that. Despite this minor critique, Sifu still stands as a testament to Slowclap's creativity and craftsmanship. With its engaging gameplay and immersive world, it's a must-play for any fan of action-packed adventures. Thank you for joining me through this journey of Sifu. Be sure to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time.